Chapter 88. Crossing the Yellow River. Waiting day and night for the reinforcements from Zhaoge, Zhang Kui finally received the report that Yuan Hong had gone to Mengjin with 200,000 soldiers. Filled with alarm, he quickly went to consult with Gao Lanying, but she only said, "Even two of us can stand against the Zhou army, and now with Yuan Hong in Mengjin, it will be impossible for the nobles to attack us from behind. Should Yuan Hong repulse the two Grand Dukes, we can join him to beat the Zhou army. We must now do our best to guard the city, and as soon as they are exhausted and short of food, we can win the day with just one battle." Jiang Ziya was pondering over their many losses when it was reported that a Taoist lad had arrived to see him. He said, "I'm a disciple of Krakukanda. Earth Traveler Sun was destined to be assassinated by Zhang Kui at the Fierce Beast Cliff. My master has sent me with this letter to help you get into Mianchu County." The letter said, Earth Traveler Sun was destined to be assassinated by Zhang Kui at the Fierce Beast Cliff. I could not help him, but only weep as I looked at the cliff in the distance. Though Zhang Kui is skillful, he will not last long. Give Yang Jian this sheet of spells and tell him to wait on the bank of the Yellow River. Order Yang Ren and Wei Hu to chase him there. Let Nejia and Thunderbolt attack the county and you will score a great victory with just one battle. I'll see you again after the creation. After reading the letter, Jiang Ziya ordered the whole army to attack Mianchu County. But when Zhang Kui mounted the city wall, Jiang quickly ordered his troops to withdraw. At 2 o'clock the next day, Jiang Ziya invited King Wu to accompany him on an inspection of the city wall to discuss the strategy for attacking the enemy. King Wu was an honest gentleman, and he immediately gave his consent. They rode out to the city wall and looked at it carefully. "We must use large cannons to break through at this point," Jiang Ziya said to King Wu, pointing at the wall. The guards quickly reported the matter to Zhang Kui, who climbed us himself and saw the two talking below. "How can Jiang Ziya insult me so?" He pondered. "We've had some battles with him, but he acts as Isla owns the place." Jiang went to see his wife. "You guard the city carefully, and I will go and take care of Jiang Ziya and Ji Fa. Our troubles will be solved once and for all," he told her. He then rode from the city straight for the king and Jiang Ziya, roaring threats and curses. Jiang and King Wu turned and ran westward, unprotected by any Zhou general. After some 20 li, Jiang heard the sound of gongs, drums, and cannons behind. The Zhou generals had rushed from their camp and were leading the army on a massive attack against the city. Gao Lanying, in full armor, led the defensive force. Nejia suddenly dropped onto the city wall with his 3 heads and 8 arms, and Gao Lanying struggled against him with her double cutlasses. Finding it difficult to keep up the fight, Gao rushed downward to firmer footing, pursued closely by Nejia. Thunderbolt flew up with his gold cudgel and dispersed the soldiers guarding the gate. He smashed the locks and opened the gate to let the Zhou army rush through. Finding herself in such a dilemma, Gao Lanying tried to use her golden sun needles, but it was already too late. She was knocked down by the universal ring and stabbed quickly by Nejia. She died at once. When Gao died, all the guards surrendered. "Brother, you'd better finish up here. I'll go to protect King Wu and our uncle, lest they meet any harm," Nejia said to Thunderbolt. He rushed in a westerly direction after him. When the sound of cannons and war cries filled the air, Zhang Kui pulled up in astonishment. Jiang Ziya shouted back at him, "Zhang Kui, your Mianchu County is already taken. Why don't you surrender?" When he realized he'd been tricked, Zhang turned to go back, but before long Nejia appeared with his 3 heads and 8 arms. "You rascal! Get off your horse and surrender! What are you waiting for?" Nejia swore. Zhang Kui attacked Nejia with his cutlass, and after several rounds, Nejia threw up his 9-dragon divine fire coverlet. Jiang immediately twisted into the earth and disappeared. When he got to the city wall, Zhang saw Thunderbolt guarding the gate. He realized that the county must have been lost, but had no idea what had happened to his wife. He decided to return to Jiaoge and then meet up with Yung Hong. King Wu, Jiang Ziya, and Ne Jia returned to the city. They collected the corpses on the city wall and buried them with funeral rites. Jiang Kui set out fully armored underground toward the Yellow River. Yang Ren spotted him in the distance and warned Wei Hu and Yang Jian. Running underground, Jiang Kui could see Yang Ren above on his cloud haze beast, the two-hand eyes following his every movement. He was greatly frightened but dared not hesitate for even a second. He pushed on faster than before, but Yang Ren followed him all the way to the Yellow River on his cloud haze beast. When they approached the river, Yang Ren yelled out to Yang Jian, who quickly burned Krakukanda's spells with his own real samadhi fire. Pointing at the ground, he then turned the earth to steel, trapping Jiang Kui with copper walls and iron partitions. Wei Hu quickly cast his club into the air, reducing Jiang Kui to powder. Yang Ren, Yang Jian, and Wei Hu then returned to the city and reported their feat to Jiang Ziya. Jiang ordered his army to rest for a few days, and then picked a lucky date to march on to the Yellow River. It was a cold winter, and everyone was dressed in heavy cotton clothes and iron armor to fend off the chill winds. When they got to the river, Jiang ordered that boats be rented from the people at half a taels of silver each. A large dragon boat was also prepared for King Wu and Jiang Ziya. The people were pleased because the army paid for his passage across. King Wu and Jiang Ziya boarded their dragon boat and sat in the middle cabin with the boatmen on either side. The wind was strong and the waves high, and the dragon boat rocked about wildly. "Why does the boat toss about so, Prime Minister?" King Wu asked. "The river current is rapid and strong, and the waves are usually violent even on ordinary days. It's very windy today and the boat is rather small," Jiang Ziya explained. "Would you open the cabin window to let me have a look at the Yellow River?" King Wu asked. Jiang Ziya pushed the cabin window open for a full view of the river. The waves were high and boundless. King Wu paled, frightened by the scene before him. The dragon boat was suddenly caught in a whirlpool, and with a great crash, a big white fish leapt high into the air and landed on the deck, startling King Wu. The fish continued to thrash about wildly all over the deck. "I should congratulate you, Your Highness," Jiang addressed King Wu. "This is a sign that King Zhou's days are numbered, and the Zhou dynasty will soon replace the Shang. Tell the cook to prepare fish for His Highness." Jiang Ziya ordered his men. "Oh, no. Don't hurt it. Throw it back in the river," King Wu protested. "As it's already jumped on board, why should we give it up? An ancient proverb says, if one neglects what heaven endows, one will face condemnation. We should eat the fish as a gift from heaven," Jiang Ziya argued back. Before long, the fish arrived on a platter, and Jiang invited all the generals on board to join them for lunch. Soon the wind subsided and the waves calmed. The dragon boat crossed the Yellow River safely and reached the other side. The 400 nobles were already prepared to welcome King Wu. Jiang Ziya knew that King Wu was a virtuous ruler, and was unwilling to dishonor King Zhou by being addressed by the dukes as His Majesty the King. Complications would arise if the problem were not well considered. Jiang knew he must discuss this with the nobles first, lest anything unfavorable were to happen. So he said to King Wu, "Though we've already arrived, it would be better for Your Highness to rest here. I'll go on shore first to supervise the army. When we have set up camp, I will invite you ashore." "As you like, Prime Minister," King Wu replied. Jiang Ziya led the army to Mengjin and set up camp. When the nobles came to meet him, they were warmly welcomed. After the exchange of greetings, Jiang said, "Dear nobles, I must request that when you meet King Wu, please do not mention our plan to attack the tyrant. You may just say that we are going to observe the political situation of Shang at Mengjin. We can discuss the matter further when the tyrant's been defeated." All the nobles readily agreed. Jiang Ziya then sent Ne Jia, Yang Jian, and some other military officers to invite King Wu to the camp. 200 nobles went along to welcome King Wu, and some accompanied him in the coach. Jiang Ziya led another 400 nobles from the north and south to welcome King Wu at the camp gate. King Wu entered the camp, followed by Shun, the South Grand Duke, Chong Yingluan, the North Grand Duke, Zhang Zhiming, Marquis of Yang, Yao Chuliang, Marquis of Yuzhou, Pang Zushou, Marquis of Yenzhou, Wu Gaokui, Count of Yimen, Zhong Zhiming, the Left Count, Yao Shuliang, the Right Count, Chang Xinran, the Distant Count, Cao Zong, the Near Count, and Ding Jianji, the Count of Binzhou. Everyone was there except Jiang Wenhuan, the East Grand Duke, who was steels locked at Yoheng Pass. All the dukes, marquises and counts invited King Wu to take the presiding seat, but he politely refused. After the greetings were over, the nobles knelt before King Wu and said, "Your honorable presence brings glory and virtue to our humble gathering. Your dignity and wisdom are admired by all. The people would be blessed to have you to rescue them from their suffering. I am but a humble son who has inherited a title from my ancestors. I am poor in virtue and shallow in learning, but by the grace of the nobles, I have been gloriously invited to accompany our prime minister to observe the politics of the Shang dynasty. I dare not assume any leadership, and only hope that you will generously teach me how to serve the people." King Wu answered, "King Zhou is not virtuous. He has furiously enraged heaven, which is resolutely bent on ending his dynasty. We all support you in punishing the tyrant as heaven wishes, and save the suffering people from further disaster. Heaven will be pleased, and our people will appreciate your struggle for justice. We would be condemned by all if we disregarded this problem and showed indifference. Please consider it carefully, Your Highness." Yao Chuliang, Marquis of Yuzhou, said emotionally. All King Zhou's ministers were influenced by his bad ministers. Let's seize the bootlickers and advise the king to rectify his improper behavior. The nation will then soon be restored to good order and will enjoy peace again. King Wu answered at once. The will of heaven is always subject to change, and always those who are virtuous are fit to rule. In ancient times, though Yao was a good emperor, he unfortunately had a bad son, so he let Shun take the throne before his death. Emperor Shun succeeded Yao, but he, like Yao, did not have a good son either, so he had to enthrone Yu as his successor. Unlike Yao and Shun, Yu had a good son and good grandsons who were able to carry on the royal line, but Ji, the last emperor of the Xia dynasty, poor in virtue, cruel, and unkind, was opposed by the people and abandoned by heaven. He was overthrown and expelled to Nanchao by Tang, the first ruler of the Shang dynasty. The dynasty came under 6 or 7 good rulers in succession, but now Zhou has failed to do anything good in politics and has wallowed endlessly in evil ways. May you take it as your duty to punish him and not let the nobles down." Pang Zushou, Marquis of Yenzhou, encouraged him. Noticing King Wu's hesitation, Jiang Ziya said, "Dear nobles, let us not discuss this problem today. I suggest we bring it up later when we have reached the outskirt of Zhaoge." "You are right, Prime Minister." They all agreed. King Wu ordered a grand feast to entertain all the nobles. Just about this time, Yang Hong learned of the big conference in Mengjin. The staff officer, Yin Pobai, moved up and said, "King Wu is the leader of these rebels and has won every battle so far. His army is strong. We must be well prepared, Commander." "You are not entirely wrong, but Jiang Ziya was only a fisherman at Pineshi Stream. He can't be very talented. He was only able to occupy our passes and territories because our generals did not fight wholeheartedly. Don't worry, I'll smash them to pieces in just one combat." Yong Hong replied proudly. At the nobles' military conference the next day, Wu Gaokui, Count of Yimen, moved up and said to Jiang Ziya, "Commander, though we have 400 nobles here, we have not dared to fight without receiving your orders. We have only taken up defensive positions, waiting for the honorable arrival of King Wu. But we should not delay any longer. If we don't move quickly, they will remain unaware of our invincible strength. We hope that you will deal with this as soon as possible. You're absolutely right, Count. I'll send them a note for combat and then have all our forces concentrated at Mengjing to meet them. Jiang Ziya replied accordingly. Jiang Ziya sent Yang Jian to deliver the note to Yun Hong directly, and Yun promised in return to meet the Zhou army the following day. Early the next morning, cannons fired loudly in the Zhou camp, and Jiang Ziya led out his whole army, accompanied by 600 nobles. Yun Hong had his generals and soldiers rush to the front, where they saw Jiang Ziya on his nondescript horse, attended by his disciples, and King Wu on his jaunty horse, followed by the dukes and counts. "Are you Jiang Ziya?" Yun Hong asked. "Yes. Nearly the whole kingdom belongs to Zhou now. The king has lost the support of the people and will soon be taken captive. You are merely a cup of water trying to extinguish the raging fire. You may save yourself if you surrender immediately, but a moment's hesitation will end your life," Jiang Ziya stated frankly. Yun Hong smiled and replied, "Jiang Ziya, you only know how to fish beside a stream, but have no idea about the depth of the water. You've been lucky to get here, but dare you go on so with your stirring words?" Yun Hong looked at the generals beside him and shouted, "Who will get that bloody fool for me and for the sake of the people?" "Don't worry, Commander. Let me take him," a general beside Yun Hong roared. He raced forward on his horse to attack Jiang Ziya. Yao Shuliang, the right count, rocked his long-handled axe. "Don't be in such a hurry, bastard. Here I am," he yelled. Chang Hao and Yao Shuliang fought desperately, lance against axe. Yao Shuliang was an ordinary person, and Chang Hao was a snake sprite from Mount Plum. He was no match for Yao Shuliang. He ran away exhausted, with Yao hot on his heels. Please read the next chapter to find out what happened next.